There are more men than women who are not sexually successful. No time to play games when there are 10 candidates waiting in the pipeline. The concept of a gold digger brings aversion in both genders. Generally speaking, of course. First of all, because the expression has such a nasty and dirty connotation. Females despise gold diggers, yet again, generally speaking, because it's this mischievous and unfair way of women manipulating men with their beauty into getting things that they want without even lifting a finger. It implies an advantage given by birth, and not all of us are blessed by such. A shortcut. Men avoid and dodge gold diggers by all means because, logically speaking, they don't want to be used and sucked dry for their resources. Duped into believing in romance, but in reality not bringing any romantic feelings in the women of their choices. So what is that I oppose to? Nothing. I just like to poke in already established social codes and give a dose of real reality. And this topic is not an exception. Men who usually complain about gold diggers are those men who have no idea about human nature, both male and female. No idea how we, both genders, come together and the reason why we come together. Because they have been duped, socially indoctrinating into believing this romantic fantasy that Hollywood and Disney serves them, how everything is just rose petals and chocolate boxes, that we love each other for pretty eyes, for soothing voice, for luscious hair. Well, that, but many other things as well. And also because you don't understand your own value. You don't know what you are bringing into the table in a relationship or in any partnership, and then expect a person to like you for something that you don't have any idea about. What is that you are contributing with into this bond? If you don't know it yourself, how do you expect someone else to like you for a fantasy? Men are the real romantics. Who do you think plays Serenade?
I got a gal always late. Anytime we have a date, but I love her.
Outside of a window.
I'm gonna ask her.
Who do you think buys chocolates and roses? Who do you think organizes picnics and takeouts? Men. Because they have this skewed perception of what women like and what they are looking after in a man. Of course, women find those things being nice, but that's not what keeps two people together. Respect and desire does. And too much of a good makes a person to take it for granted. Doormat. So stop believing that women like good heart, gentle hands, and other bullshit like that. There's always some kind of a transaction in any relationship, regardless the type of relationship. Men need reassurance of a paternity. And that ties into how they act in a relationship. That's why we become jealous, because it triggers in us evolutionary warning signals about being cocked, taking care of somebody else's offspring. Men need health, youth, nurture, but before they get that, they have to establish what their selling point is. A man's selling point is either resources or personality. Both of them are rarely found in one specimen, and those are 1 in a million. Also, why women cheat or play on several teams, because they like one of two. Women need a strong leadership and resources. So being a gold digger is nothing but a woman communicating overtly her needs, as much as her position and status allows, of course. It's the same thing as men's wanna boink, being very overt, raw, uncut, unedited, without any mating dance. There's no sugarcoating, and you have to ask yourself, how come? How come some people are very scared and not showcase their true intentions, but play around and try to lure their prey into the trap? Women usually dictate the intensity of this game, even though they are complaining about playing games. If it's up to us, men, we would like to go to your bed directly, without any fine dining and walking in the park. This game is necessary for women to establish the suitability of the candidate. Consequently, both men and women who are this overt have a lot of options. And cutting straight to the chase is the way to make the most of the time. Use it as effectively and productively as possible. No time to play games when there are 10 candidates waiting in the pipeline. Because of the fact that there are more men than women who are not sexually successful, the concept of a gold digger becomes accentuated because there are more men having trouble with women, not understanding their nature, not understanding the dynamic between sexes. My message to you is that you should be thankful that a person chooses to be overt with their intentions without playing around and being ugly deceptive. When you know that, you can plan accordingly and choose whether you are satisfied with this kind of an arrangement or you would like to move along. I don't see anything wrong with that kind of transaction. A man should lead. Where it becomes tricky though is when the man is oblivious to the kind of dynamic they have within that relationship that he is involved in, not seeing the signs, not understanding the communication nuances, thinking that it's all about love. The eyes can see when the mind is blind. If you want to see more videos on gender dynamics, great playlist. I recommend 100%. How do you deal with gold diggers and what's your opinion on them? Comment down below. But for now, Hossein out.